One of the most exciting things for me was the idea of the flip car.
When I saw the flip car for the first time, it just reminded me how this franchise comes up with new ideas of cars. And it blows my mind.
Justin called me early on. I said, I want something that's, going to run head-on into vehicles and launch them into the air. It's a great idea.
It came really from the design of who Shaw is.
Good news is, you swap out a bad part, everything runs smooth as silk again.
He is someone that will go right into the middle of a storm and demolish everything in its way.
We needed something that even our heroes couldn't stop right away. And so when you saw this thing, it was like, what the heck, this thing can't hurt me. And next thing you know, this thing's flipping 5 police cars in a matter of 15 seconds.
When I first heard about the flip car, I always had this thing in my mind, like, what is it really going to do? How are we really going to do this? And then Dennis McCarthy went out and built an incredible car.
So this is what we refer to as our ramp car. This car is probably the most labor-intensive car that we have. It's basically built from scratch. Pretty much anywhere you look at this car, it's definitely unique.
What we've done on this one was put rear steering on it. So now it has front steering and rear steering, all controlled by the pilot. And when you turn the rear steer, they can what we call crab sideways. Instead of like a normal car that turns, we can crab.
The 4-wheel steering is unbelievable. The way they did it was just something else. I mean, structurally, that thing is so sound. Dennis and those guys just kick ass.
And it's sort of roughly based on a Formula 1 car, so it's very low to the ground. It has a very sort of wedge shape, huge tires, 8 exhausts, the noisiest thing I've ever heard in my life. The noise that it makes is like having a T-Rex open his mouth right behind you. That's what it sounds like.
Justin had a very clear vision of his stunts, which required a lot of test time, which was great for us because we spent 4 or 5 racetrack days with all those ramp cars.
I was just doing practice out here, see how fast we can do 180s by using both front and rear. You can get out of control really easy with the rear steering and not being able to get it back to center. So it takes a driver with precise skills to drive it smoothly.
Hi, I'm Mark and I'm the driver of this car. Quite a beast to drive. I've been asked a few times to compare the vehicle to anything I've driven before, and a great little toy. There is nothing like it. Really, she's quite a beast.
When you have a machine like that and you sit in it and you have to do a scene in it, the job's almost done.
So what? The next job, of course.
And it worked. It does everything it said on the tin. I mean, it's extraordinary. I mean, there's no faking going on here.
I remember sitting down with Andy and Spiro, and they're like, it's going to be great, but you actually can't flip the cars. It's too hard. And I said, well, let's just try it. And then, Spiro, he's always up for a challenge.
So we thought, okay, let's just do it for the lead-ups, and then we'll go and put a pipe ramp and make it look like the car's doing it and fake it. Well, we were surprised because this flip car really flipped the police cars higher than the pipe ramp actually did when we did it static. So the footage in the movie is actually from the flip car going head-on with the other police cars.
And I remember, I think 3 in the morning, getting a call from Spiro, and he's like, it worked, and nobody expected it to work.
And we really had a guy driving the flip car. They really went head-on, and I can only imagine how it must have looked for this guy in his little tiny car heading head-on towards the car that was like 3 times the size.
Thumbs up. I heard it looked good. I had my eyes shut.
When Justin saw the results of what we were able to do, it called me up and goes, I want you to add more police cars, flip more police cars, crash more police cars. That was pretty fun.
That was part of the joy of coming up with an idea and seeing it being executed perfectly, even beyond our expectation. And that's a testament to you know, the whole team.
I love the flip car. I love the idea of it. I think that's what keeps people on their seats and keeps them in suspense, is always wondering what kind of car they're gonna have next. And we always surprise them.